It's Kathy Limata. I'm going to continue to read this story. Hank Zipzer. I got a D in salami. So far, he's woke up late for school. We know that his friends live in the same apartment as him. He tried to do the spelling competition, but ended up losing all the words and not being able to spell it. He's in the principal's office, and the principal's going to give him a pass. So let's see what happens in chapter 5. The only decent thing about the spelling contest was Ashley won. She is such a good friend that her winning almost made up for the fact that my spelling was a total disaster. Cheer up, Zip, Frankie said to me as we sat down at our table in the lunchroom. So you're not a speller. Big deal. I'm not an adder or a subtractor or a reader or a writer. Let's face it, Frankie, I'm a school flop. I was feeling pretty terrible. First, I messed up the spelling contest for no good reason that I could understand. Then I got sent to the principal's office. And for those things hadn't made my day horrible enough. The halibut fish made the entire lunchroom smell like a toxic waste. Ooh, doesn't sound like I want to eat that. There's more to life than school, said Frankie, pulling out his peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Don't get down on yourself. That's easy for you to say, Frankie. That's easy for Frankie to say. He's one of those kids who's good at everything. He reads like a grown-up, even the newspaper. He actually reads the sports section of the newspaper every day. Not me. I have to watch ESPN on television for my updates. He's also totally funny, a phenomenal magician, and all the girls like him. What's up, Frankie? Asked Katie Spearling and Kim Paulson as they walked by with their trays. Oh, I think they like him, huh? See what I mean? The two most beautiful girls in the 4th grade were asking, what's up? Weren't asking, what's up, Hank? My father always says that Frankie Townsend is going to be the first African-American president of the United States. Oh, we got a clue as to what Frankie's culture is. Of course, he says that Emily is going to be a rocket scientist. As though that's ever going to happen. I can see it now. Emily carousing around mission control with Catherine the lizard, flashing her sticky tongue on all the astronauts. Catherine on her shoulder. Houston, we have a problem. We have an ugly iguana loose on the launch pad with its tongue stuck to the windshield. I pulled out my sandwich. My mom had packed me another one of her science experiments. Inside the baggie with my sandwich was a note from her. Hi, honey. This is a soy salami polenta loaf. Tell me what you think. Love, Mom. My mom runs a deli called the Crunchy Pickle, which my grandfather, Papa Pete, started. A deli is where you buy meat and other things. When she took over the deli, my mom said she wanted to bring lunch meats into the world of healthy eating. So she's always inventing stuff like soy salami polenta loaf. I'm her #1 guinea pig. I have to try it all. That stuff looks nasty, Frankie said, giving my sandwich an evil eye. Here, buddy, have half of mine. Yours looks like it has a rash with all those red spots. The peanut butter and jelly sandwich tasted great. It was the first good thing that happened to me that day. Ashley arrived with her tray. Her parents are both doctors. They usually don't have time to make her lunch in the morning. Robert alert, she said, shaking her chocolate milk. Sorry, guys, I couldn't ditch him. He's on me like glue. Robert Upchurch was following Ashley to our table. He lives in our building, and even though he's only in the 3rd grade, he thinks he's best friends with us. We don't have the heart to tell him he's not. I mean, the kid wears a tie to school every day. He's already got a hard enough life, right? Robert took a seat next to me. "Greetings," he said, with his typical Robert thing to say. He talks like he's an alien in a movie. They're always saying stuff like, "I bring you greetings from my people." A horrible smell drifted into my nose. It was coming from Robert's tray. I couldn't believe it. He actually got the halibut fish. School cafeteria fish is the lowest of the low. "Robert, I can't believe you got the fish," I said. "I never seen anyone get the fish." "Actually, fish is an excellent food for your brain. It's full of fatty oils and provides nutrients that the brain needs to function. Maybe that's why I'm so intelligent. Or maybe that's why you smell so bad," said Frankie, holding his nose. Robert laughed. "You have to give him credit for that. You can say almost anything to him, and he doesn't take offense." "How was the spelling contest?" he asked, chomping down on a mouthful of fish. "Can we talk about something else?" I asked. "Sure," said Robert. "Would you like to talk about penguins? I know a great deal about the king penguin. Actually, it weighs 40 pounds and grows up to 3 feet tall." Without taking a breath, Robert launched into a life cycle of the penguin. It was like having a National Geographic special right there at your lunch table. Suddenly, I smelled something really foul behind me. Immediately, I realized it was an unmistakable odor of the rhinoceros with tooth decay. It was Nick McKelty's breath. "Nice work today on the spelling, Dodo Brain," McKelty said, leaning over my shoulder to grab my last of my jelly donut. "You didn't exactly light up the room yourself, McKelty," I said. "I just didn't want to make you stupid ones feel bad," McKelty said. "I knew every word." "Right," said Frankie, "and my name is Bernice." From the next table, Katie and Kim cracked up. Everyone loves when Frankie does his Bernice line. Everyone but McKelty, that is. Bullies don't like to be laughed at. He pulled himself up to full height, and I have to admit, he towered over Frankie. "Listen, Townsend, you say that one more time and I'm going to have to call my father to call your father," he said. Nick's father owns McKelty Roll Bowl, the bowling alley where Grandpa plays. And what's he going to say? "Lane number 3 is available?" Now Ryan Shimozato and his crew started to laugh. Luke Whitman cracked up too, but not too loudly. "Bowling shoes make your feet stink," Luke said. That's typical Luke Whitman. Luke is one of those kids who'll say disgusting things like booger slime, toe jam, diaper doo-doo for no reason at all. I bet there's a kid like that in your class. Sorry about that. Can you think of someone? I can't. McKelty was really mad now. He was just searching for a comeback. But the big lug just couldn't come up with anything. "Frankie," said Ashley, "can you make Mr. McKelty disappear?" "No problemo," said Frankie. He stood up and looked over at Kim and Katie and flashed them his big dimpled grin. Boy, they were going for it too. But this is what is so cool about Frankie Townsend. He could have done the magic trick all by himself and gotten all the attention from Katie and Kim for himself. But he didn't. Did he? No. Here's what he did. He took me by the arm and pulled me to my feet. I can't do magic without my man here. Zip. Ugh, there's a bug. Zip, give me some of your magic moves, buddy. Kim and Katie stared at me. In fact, everyone in the cafeteria stopped what they were doing and looked at me. Frankie gave me the nod, and I started to wave my hands around like I was casting a spell. Frankie and I have watched behind the scenes of the secret magic show videos until the tapes were practically worn out. So I have the moves down pretty smoothly. I gave the full show business treatment. Frankie let me go on until he saw Katie and Kim were impressed. Then he stood up and closed his eyes. When he spoke, it was almost a whisper. Bones of halibut, magic things, sound the bell. Zaga wing, ring. He opened his eyes, and the very second he did, the bell rang. I'm not kidding. It was amazing. Lunch is over. Everyone back to class, said Mrs. Tomosinski, the teacher on lunch duty. Nick McKelty, that means you. Get going right now. Hustle. Nick picked up his backpack and hurried out of the cafeteria. Wow, Katie said to Frank. You did make him disappear. You guys are great, Kim, smiling at me. Can I walk back to class with you? Why not, I answered, giving her my big smile. I may be dumb in spelling, but hey, I'm no dummy. Ooh, that's the end of chapter 5. See you back here for chapter 6.